So our first speaker is Chris. And Chris is going to tell you his story. So please put your hands together and welcome to the stage, Chris Moores.
Morning, everyone. My name's Chris Moores, obviously Mastermind 12, which you all know, but for the stream. I'm a builder. I'm based on the Wirral. I've had an established building company now for 13 years, and I was introduced to PIN via Gavin Barry back in 2011. I was doing a lot of property developing for the likes of Gavin and David Jeffrey and a lot of past masterminders. And to be honest, I got sick of making them so much money, so I thought I'd have a go myself. So off the back of that, really, I started going to the PIN meetings, and Gavin really told me about this environment and encouraged me to join, and it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. My reasons why, now, I wrote these down at the start of the course, and they didn't mean that much to me, which might seem a bit strange. I don't know if anyone can relate. Everyone sort of has the same kind of goals. Now, I wrote them down, and I thought that would be really great to have a passive income and a choice, and to be able to support my family and a retirement fund. And you write all these things down. It's only in the last 3 months that they've become reality. And you actually take a step back and look at what you've achieved in that year. And these are all real now. And that's when you actually stand back and appreciate how your life's going to change and what this course has done for me. Particularly in the last week or two, things have changed dramatically for me. And we had a plan. I say we because this is me and my wife, Jen, and we're a team. I could never have done this without her and the support from the family. And I say it's changed in that we had a plan, and it's changed dramatically in the last week because we're expecting our first baby. So, so all in all, it's been a pretty good week, really. So what I'll do is I'll just whiz through a few of the deals, and then I want to highlight a few of the things that the Mastermind Programme has given me. The figures are important, obviously, because that's why we're all here. But I'll just whiz through them because we haven't got too long, really. So this was the first deal that I did. The guy was trying to sell the property on the open market. His mortgage was 109. It was on for 119, and he was getting nowhere near. So we agreed an option on this. I brought in another investor as I was on holiday in Florida at the time. I got a call, and he was from Mastermind 11, which is Simon gave us a tip. Try and get to know as many past and present masterminders as you possibly can. And that stood me in good stead because I knew I could rely and trust on somebody who had been in the programme who could actually take this option agreement through while I was away. And that's what we've done. So the cost was 18,000. Total cost all in was 125. And it's on the market at the moment for 160, and we should achieve 155,000. So, if it's a £30,000 profit on that one. This one's another JV I'm doing with Nick Selman in Birmingham. Ongoing renovations at the moment. So I've just put an estimated gross rental income. We're being a bit shy on that, really, but we're just trying to be a bit conservative as it's not actually in the bank yet. And that was a purchase 250. We've got a large refurbishment on that. At the end valuation's 507, and obviously it's 67,500. This is another one I've done with another investor. Literally needs nothing doing. I've got surplus tenants, so I thought I would just try and basically buy a house to house them. It literally is immaculate inside. The investors leaving their money in, they're getting 18.9% return on their investment. And it's going to make £27,000. Sorry, it's going to make £15,795 between us a year after all costs. So it's another pretty good investment. I'm going to touch slightly more on this deal and the next deal. This is probably my favourite deal. I picked this up about a month or two into the course. The guy who did my business cards, Simon says, tell everyone what you do. So instead of just picking them up, I wouldn't leave his house. I was stuck there for about an hour. I think he just wanted to get rid of me. I was telling him about what we were doing, and I was all excited about the course. And then lo and behold, one of his neighbours came to see him the next day and said he was about to have his house taken from him. Just after Christmas. And he said, I got just a guy. He gave him my card, and I got the call, and he told me 9 days later they were going to take his house off him. he told me that the property, well, you can see the figures, £133,000 including the arrears. And I thought, I don't know how I'm going to buy this. So I structured an assisted sale. He didn't want anything at all out of this deal. He just wanted not to be repossessed. He had a real story. He'd been really poorly. The company who he was working for had stolen all his men. And it was just an awful time for him. The reason I haven't put any pictures or anything on there is because it's obviously very confidential. People are going to see this, and I just felt that it wasn't right to be putting pictures and names on the screen. So that's why there's no pictures on there. But as I say, we did a deal with him, and we agreed to give him £10,000 above and beyond the figures he required to move on. So he had a year's rent to go and continue his recuperation. And he was going to move into a rented property if he had been repossessed and pay £700 a month. So we agreed to give him the £300 a month extra. He pays £700. The house was put on the open market and had sold it within 4 days, and we had made £40,000. But it fell through. So as time's gone on, we actually came into the workshop, and Simon came up with a suggestion. So I've actually sold the deal. So we did the assisted sale. We got the profits from the assisted sale. We sold it to another investor, and I've managed to keep 50% share in the property. So the other investors paid the deposit, and obviously we've got the money from the option deal. We're then going to refurbish it, and we're going to split the profit. So that's 2 deals in one, really. Again, 15,600 per annum split between the two of us, cash flow. 50% share in the property, and we got paid the money from the original option agreement as well. So, again, it was great advice coming from Mr. Zutshi. Now, this is my baby, this one, really. This is based on the Wirral. This is a 12-bed. We've paid £175,000 for it. Refurbishment costs are going to be £50,000, and the finance and legals, because we've done it on bridging finance, £25,000. The total cash in, £250,000. Bricks and mortar valuation is £400,000. Obviously, if you're going to base it on the rental income, it's going to be more. And the gross rental income on this property is £63,000 a year, so that's going to make me £35,000, over £35,000 a year just from the one property. So these kind of deals have literally changed my life, really. And as I said, back to my reasons why, it's just given me the opportunity that the baby's born in April, and we don't have to go to work for a few months if we don't want to, so it's just been unbelievable. So just a quick summary. The option deal, we used 18,000 of investors' money, 30 grand profit, 16-bed HMO, 160 grand investors' money, 100 grand equity in that, 6,750. 6-bed HMO, 40 grand investors' money, 15,795 cash flow. Assisted sale, 20,000 of the investors' money originally for the arrears and stuff, and then 4,900 profit. The 6-bed HMO is 40 grand investment, 15,600 per annum. That's the same deal. And then the 12-bed, 120,000 investors' money, 150,000 equity, and 35,400 cash flow per annum. I'm sorry I'm whizzing through this, I'm just quite aware of time. So that the overall summary for this year, I have not invested a single penny of my own money. One, when I came on the course, because I didn't have any. I borrowed the money to do the course, and really took a leap of faith in the course and in Simon and in Gavin's advice. So we raised £398,000 of investors' money this year, 74,900 profit from the assisted sale and the option deal. We've managed to gain £250,000 worth of equity built into the 2 large HMOs, a gross rental income of £186,300 per annum, with a conservative estimate of cash flow at £96,000. And most of these are JVs, so I would say that probably 55 out of that 96 is ours, and the rest is split. And we've gained control over the last 11 months of £1.4 million worth of property. Now, I didn't actually really start the course properly till January, because I couldn't let go of the building work. I wouldn't let anybody else do it. And Simon just wouldn't leave me alone. He's like, you need to get rid of this. You've got to get rid of this building work. You can't do it yourself. You've got to leverage your time. And it really kick-started for me in January when that's what I started to do. Just quickly through some key learnings. We all get taught the basics on the course, and I just think, they say all the time, just do what Simon says. And it's so true. I've done nothing else. I'm not special. I'm not different than anyone else. But these things are so important. Tell everyone what you do. I got the deal, the option deal, because of telling everyone what I do. I like to talk a lot, like you all know. And leveraging your time. My massive learning is leveraging my time. And obviously Simon's really pushed that. Education. I left high school and I'd never been into any other form of education. It's become very important to me now. I understand that you need to educate yourself and you need to learn if you're going to progress in any sort of career. Networking, and I've put networking, I mean outside of this group and outside of the PIN Academy and everything. Network with people who don't understand property, because you're going to get a better rate of return for your investment money as well. And stepping out of your comfort zone. I mean, this for me is new. I've done it a couple of times this year now. It gets a little bit easier each time. But I know for a lot of people, it's not just about standing and speaking in front of people. It's about going into estate agents and all those kind of things. And you've just got to believe and persist. Keep going. You feel stupid going into an estate agent and they don't understand you. They think you're talking rubbish, an option deal and this and that and the other. You only need one to understand, and you're going to get a deal that's going to change your life. And I wanted to move on to the Mastermind Network, because this is what's changed everything. 70% of my success this year is down to the people in this room, Simon and his team, PIN Academy. Everything to do with this network is 70%. 30% is going out there and doing it, but without that support, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this. So sharing your experiences every month with me, you know, and it's just been absolutely amazing to hear everyone's different journeys. The support from the team, like I've said. Buddy calls, I was going to name them, and then I started to go through them. There's about 25 of you, I think, I've spoken to a couple of times a month, which has been brilliant. Mastermind forums have been invaluable to us. And all this structure, the PIN Academy, the PIN meetings, the webinars, all the structure that's put there for us to use, if you use it properly, it's brilliant. And obviously, we've been offered the chance to continue our education, our learning afterwards. And I would encourage everyone, even if you've got one property or you're just going to get your first one, if we all stick together, it makes things a lot easier. And finally, I've got a massive thank you to Barry Davis, who's my coach. He was excellent. As someone mentioned earlier on today in our session, the coaches make themselves available for you outside of the coaching sessions. Sometimes I've spoken to them on Sundays and late at night when I've been trying to get a deal done for the next day, and he's been really, really good. And I had my mentoring last week from Paul Preston. Paul literally came to my house last Thursday. We found out on the we obviously had the scan and the baby, and he came on the Thursday, and that day will stay with me forever, because what we did that day, structuring my business, structuring the HMOs, it just changed everything for us. I mean, it was just a phenomenal day. And again, I would just urge everyone to speak and learn from people who've been doing it a lot longer than you. Don't be shy in asking questions that you might feel stupid asking, because I ask them all the time. We're no different than anyone else because we managed to get a few deals. These guys know what they're doing, and that's why we're all here. So as I say, a big thank you to obviously the main man, Mr. Simon Zutshi, and all the PIN team and everyone that supported me this year. And I look forward to the next 12 months and the rest of my life. Thank you very much.
Let's hear for Chris.